Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing an EGIK WM France Tech G456 with Montu's G8 collection. Playing with maruskaK, Barbarossa89, and Keith. Maruska streams at twitch.tv/maruskaK. So, let's read the G8 card. It's Crofter. During the feeding phase, current number, you get a building resource of your choice and one food. Seems like an okay card. Hey, Rylocren. We've got Veggie Importer here. We've got Stonecutter. We've got Botanist. So a couple okay cards here. Resource and a food could be fun to get. So, like, you play this as your only stage 1 occupation. Yeah, sure. Let's try it. Next up, we've got Photographer, which is great, and my pick unless small-scale professional moves the needle. As long as your home has exactly 2 rooms, at the end of the work phase, you may place 1 food from the general supply on this card, convert 2 food into blah, 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 and 3 food into a cattle. So the idea is you play small-scale professional, and every 3 turns you get a cattle, or every 2 turns you get sheep or grain vegetable. Or sorry, every 2 rounds, not turns. I'm going to grab Photographer here. The idea is I play Crofter as my first occupation, I play Photographer as my second, and do, like, Photographer just leads to a really nice NRFG hand. Yeah, and then I get Cloister Dweller and Rule Breaker here, both of which I like quite a bit. But yeah, this is kind of the perfect pick here, something that I can play in 14. Let's go. Should I go Rule Breaker or should I go Cloister Dweller? I could do either. Cloister Dweller is a pretty easy 4 points. That plus, let's say, a 5-point Photographer be a pretty good start. Rule Breaker for the black and white theme. Oh man, I like that, Relocren. I really like that. I'm gonna go Cloister Dweller though. I really like that idea. That's really funny. All right. Yeah, a couple of reasonable picks here. Reformer, if I'm not going to play it in the first 2 stages, not as good. Merit Candidate can build me the well. And we've also got Cattle Breeder here. I think both of these are pretty reasonable picks. Could go Merit Candidate. Could go Cattle Breeder. Let's go Merit Candidate. Merit Candidate is pretty much always going to be playable in this game. It gets me stone and wood for rooms, so I like the idea of that. Yeah, so I could grab like Head of the Revolution here right before I'm gonna fence 15 big for my Cloister Dweller. Passing the Surveyor to the Botanist is a bit dangerous because the Botanist could really use Surveyor quite nicely. Definitely not taking Veggie Importer. I could take Beekeeper for a point at some point, but Head of the Revolution's got a higher upside. So I'm gonna grab that one here. First pick Crofter. Yeah, the pack was not exciting, and this is a new card, so it was likely correct to first pick Botanist, but the opening pile was pretty weak, I think, Ray. So I'm trying out Crofter here. But yeah, third pick Cloister Dweller. First pick Crofter. That's not the order you're supposed to go in. So I was watching just to see how the audio is on YouTube, and I was often like caught myself humming or whatever, and it's like the people on YouTube can't they can't hear it, so it doesn't maybe make for the best content. Oh, small scale professional came back. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm a bit pretty low on this card because most of the things that I think make it good, or most of the reasons I would want to stay on two rooms, are occupations, and I know that I'm not getting any of them. I guess there's like downsizing, which it would be pretty good with. I think that car is busted. I think it would be very good a lot of the time. I think there are a lot like I think it's good. I don't think it's like I think in this hand it doesn't work particularly well unless I dump Crofter, which I could do. I could just dump Crofter or play it in stage two. Like a round one small scale professional enabling you to get like two grain and a vegetable in round six, and so grain vegetable is pretty good. Like that's definitely really good. And there are cards like downsizing, which lets you turn it back on later in the game. You know, obviously with cards like Field Doctor, or whatever, it'd be incredible. But yeah, I think a lot of the best combos for this card are occupations, and I haven't seen them. I'm gonna take Basket Maker here. I think Basket Maker plus Crofter is kind of cute. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised Fence Post Driver is still here. I think people like cards like that look like this. Pretty easy pick. There are tons of minors I could get past, which are great with Fence Post Driver. So Prosecutor was in the draft. So Stonehouse Extension is a thing to think about. Clockwork Man quite bad with Crofter. So like Carrot Harvester is a thing you could set up with the two house, get two vegetables in the ground, and if you have some vegetable payoff, it'd be pretty absurd. It's definitely seems like it's a card that can get like the ceiling on that card could be quite high, or will sometimes be very high. I just think in this game, the floor is also extremely low. Do I want the Stonehouse extension here? It is a thing that I could play after playing Head of the Revolution. The thing is, it's my fifth room most of the time, and the fifth room is a tiny bit awkward with Cloister Dweller. It just means that you're very likely only scoring 3 points out of it. Because it's probably not likely that I plow 4 fields this game. I could just take Artichoke Field or Grain Bag. I think I'll take Stonehouse Extension, though. Yeah. So Timetable is pretty fantastic with Stonehouse Extension. Yeah, pretty easy timetable here. Clockwork Maycrofter Rumble combo. Okay, clay pit. Petting zoo's not bad as well, but probably a pretty easy clay pit here. Yeah, bean hole to eat the vegetables. So yeah, there was definitely another line here. There was definitely another line. But yeah, I don't think I'm ever passing clay pit with fence post driver in hand. Not that it's like some amazing combo or anything, but just like there's a chance I get even something fourth, which could also be good. So I could play Granary with Timetable. The odds that I get it out before are a tiny bit difficult. And there's cookies here. So I really do not have any grain support whatsoever. But if I am planning to build a fifth room, if I can, like, I should not wheel grain bag. But if I do, there's a chance for like a 5 point cookies. I think the ceiling of cookies is really high. Maybe what I do, so I was thinking that I likely doing a 5 room Stonehouse game with Stonehouse extension. Maybe what I'm actually doing is room, spend stage 3 getting 2 grain fields down, then going to stone, growing with Stonehouse extension, and then play cookies on that family growth. And then all of a sudden, hey, now I'm ready to bake, 4 grain with my cooking hearth, for example. Or just wheel grain bag. Yeah. All right. I'm surprised Sapling's still here too. I'm amazed that Grainbag is still here. This card is underappreciated. I'd be pretty happy to make, a fireplace and a clay oven and get 3 grain each time I take the action. I could also set up grain stage 1. This is a set up planted grain field stage 1 kind of game, I think. Because building that first baking thing is not very good if you don't already have a grain to bake, and of course you don't want to take grain just to bake it. Well, I mean, Wildwood Medicine is free with timetable, but Night Bazaar is all right. Night Bazaar is like a quite reasonable card, I think. Um, if this had a point on it, I would take it, but without a point, it's quite unexciting. I could do just the. I could just do the thing where it's like I'm getting 2 food from this and a food from Crofter and 3 food from Basket Maker and see how long that can carry me. The problem with that line is 2 fields, and like I'm never playing like that, but like, and then I'm not playing it before timetable, most likely, or not playing it after timetable, which makes it more difficult. So Meadow is a thing with Cloister Dweller. It's difficult, but it is a thing that you can do. Basically, your farm layout is like fence 8 here, and then you have a stable, then one in your house, one here, and then these get filled in automatically. If I want to build multiple wood rooms, I could do that. On the other hand, I could grab Reed Exchange here. I've got Greenbag Stonehouse Extension and the Basket Maker, so Reed Exchange seems okay, especially if it only costs me a single clay and I have Clay Pit here. So tomorrow, I'll be able to start the stream a lot earlier tomorrow. That's my plan. Should be able to start like in the afternoon, and I'm gonna plan to do a couple games and then try to stream a bunch this weekend. I at the moment don't have anything going on this weekend, so fresh dirt worker. Am I gonna plow with my second move? I think I will. Because if I do, it kind of scares Barbarossa. It maybe makes him do silly stuff like first move plow, and then I get better actions because of that. Oh, greengrocer here as well. Field here. Yeah, I think field here. Maybe there's an argument for field top middle given cloister dweller, but this gives me the option of 4 rooms and 2 fields only. We're just go with a 5 wood round 1. No one took clay round 1. Interesting. Very interesting. Vegetable worker plus 4 clay. What's Barbarossa up to? Very cheap clay rooms? Or has a good reason to want the first sheep grab? Could be something like clay supports, could be something that wants, I don't know, like a grotto or something that wants a bunch of food. Grab 3 wood here. I'm happy to get a reed, my second reed from Crofter if I need to, so. Pretty easy 3 wood, I think. So if cheap box there, I'll play Crofter. If it's not, I'll take a grain. Keith playing Schnapps Master. Okay. Keith, if Keith remembers, like, what? That's what he first picked? I did not pass that card. So, you can wonder, does maruskaK have, there was like the Surveyor Botanist combo. maruskaK could have something like that. This Stonehouse extension could go around. With Fresh Dirt Worker can make stone too for Barbarossa. This Fresh Dirt Worker could go around. Or sorry, this Stonehouse extension could go around. Not all the way around, but it could get played 3 times, which almost never happens. Probably, though, I will hold on to it long enough that they won't have time to play it. Second move, one grain, and if that's not there, three foods. Okay, I guess. Beekeeper is a funny card. It's a card that is drafted very low, but or late, I should say. It's a card that's drafted late, but its stats were often for a long time a lot better than what they were at before. Oh, I'm competing for so here. Oh, that's fun. All right, well, I think I still take the grain and say sorry, Keith. If he doesn't first move so, then I'm gonna first move so. Like, I don't really have actions that I need right now. Like, probably I wheel a 4 food or a 4 clay action, and that's both of those are totally fine. 4 clay builds a clay oven, 4 food feeds me in the next harvest, or almost does. So this is an unusual stage one. We had clay untaken round one. We've had 3 plow 1 field actions already and 2 1 grain actions already. So very different stage one. Plus FR feed 4. Not gonna lie, part of why I wanted to take Crofter was I was like, this card looks like it would be fun with card player. I was like, oh, this looks like fun with card player. It's like, oh, maybe card player is the kind of card that does get passed. Yeah, I don't like first picking stuff being like, hey, maybe I see this other card and that other card is very unlikely to be passed. But card player is a card that absolutely could get passed. I wonder if we see Keith build the clay oven round 5. I appreciate the total lack of room pressure here. It lets me consider first action clay oven, and if I don't get the clay oven, I get a 5 food move. So not unhappy with either outcome there. Yep, I'm gonna build the clay oven here. Keith could build it, and I think it's extremely important for me. And second move, 5 food, or reedstone food, or occupation, or 3 wood. Any of those could be reasonable moves. Maruska first move start player here. I'm a bit surprised by that. I guess he's maybe worried about me playing. Is he worried about Keith playing a start player minor? Or Barbarossa? That over a 5 food move is a bit surprising. Just especially with family growth not having flipped yet. Oh, I'm supposed to build here. Yeah. Keith didn't build. I was like, what am I... Keith didn't build, which is unusual. So pretty easy build here. And then... Yeah, it's not a great build because I can't stable block, so we could easily have Keith start player into Barbarossa and not block. But with 6 wood, most likely the 6 wood's getting taken, and I get to start player next round. Yep, I can start player timetable into grain bag round 7. Or I could play Night Bazaar. Probably timetable into grain bag, most likely. Or timetable into read exchange. Yeah, timetable into read exchange would be fine. Barbaros hasn't got that third field. If he had, he could have grabbed a read. And a read would be pretty nice. Ooh. Am I not going to be forced to start player here? Not being forced to start player would be fantastic. By the way, expect Stone to be pretty contested because of the botanist. So I'm going to be taking... my goal is to take Stone with Crofter the rest of the way. I have a couple ways of getting read with read exchange and timetable and Night Bazaar. I have a couple ways of getting incidental read. So I'm hoping that the Crofter will mostly be able to take Stone. That's my plan. Oh, did Mariska pay 2 food for Absinthe? Because Clockwork Man messes him up. Yeah, Clockwork Man is your second with one occupation is always that happens all the time. I don't mind if he wants to change minors, but whatever he wants to do, it's probably fine. I am not forced to start player here. Yeah, Mariska's gonna change minors. Makes total sense. So I could start player here just for 3 stone or 6 clay. 3 stone or 6 clay or 4 wood. I like the 6 clay into building a clay room. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think 6 clay into building a clay room is alright. So then I would start player timetable here. Second move, family growth, play grain bag or reed exchange. If I play reed, yeah, I think I'm taking stone from Crofter either way. Because I want stone either for my stonehouse reno or for building the stone oven. I think either way, that's what I'm doing. The other reason I like this start player, the way that the growth queue is being unstacked means that people don't have to take start player to guarantee growth. So like I think there's a chance I might retain this start player for a bit. So that's the other reason that I like start player there. Gotta decide here, eh? Let's go reed exchange. Clay to RR, use the clay from timetable. Then plus FS feed 5. Yeah, so I can play, for example, Mayor Candidate round 8 into Reno Stone Oven. Hold on to announcing the stone. It's information that I don't have to give away, so. Barbarossa with pear peeler. It's a funny, funny game. Barbarossa, Keith, and I all doing kind of weird stuff stage 1, and Maruska. It's not like Maruska has a huge edge here. He's got the nice food on the board, which is really great. So like his food is really good and he's very ready to build another room soon. But he doesn't have like we obviously have no idea what his first pick is, right? I'm sure he's setting up something good. Like you just have to assume that he is. Oh, I would have to take food action before playing Mayor Candidate. That's something to think about here. I want to see what Mariska does. Like if he takes 2 reed here, he might be thinking about building. Yeah, if I can't build the stone oven, the other way to go is I need another clay action for the clay room anyways. So if I can pick up 2 more clay from what I need, then I can build a fireplace, or more likely 3 more. Yeah, Maruska did take the 2 reed. So FS feed 5 for me. Yeah, I could just do like a reedstone food action. Reedstone food action would be totally fine. Let's see what Keith does though. If 6 wood is there, I'm taking 6 wood, obviously. Keith might take 6 wood though. What Keith might do is say, well, even if I first move build here, Barbarossa could start player's second action. I don't think it's that likely that Barbarossa start player's second move after family growth first move, because I think his feeding would be a little bit at risk. I don't know. Maybe nobody else would want the 2 boar. Like he would give up the sheep. So probably like I go for the 4 sheep round 9. But then maybe Barbarossa gets the 2 boar after first move family growth. Yeah, I think build is reasonable here. I think it's very unlikely that Barbarossa start players. The thing is, Maruska or I might. And I think that's what you have to be worried about. You have to be worried about Maruska or I start playering. So there's a bit of a discussion here about where my next field should go. Because with 2 fields at this stage in the game, there's a very reasonable chance of just choosing to try for the 4 fields and then fence 13. That's a pretty reasonable option, I think. On the other hand, there's also the option of only staying on 4 rooms. Especially given that I think Maruska is going to build again, and the fact that Barbarossa's here. Is this start player for Keith? If this is start player for Keith, I kind of hate it. It's just really tough. It's just really tough to start player here. Because you're already so far behind. Bake is not in any way guaranteed next round. I could reno fireplace here. Yeah, if I reno fireplace, I get a food action next round. I assume Barbaros is taking the sheep, but in case he doesn't, then I get the sheep. And Keith might kind of looks like he wants to build the stone oven, so. And this way I have the option of just playing basket maker next round. So if I do a boar action, keep 1 boar, and then play basket maker, that's. I think that would be 1 food short, I think, of what I need, which I could make up by taking reedstone food here. The other reason that I'm valuing the 5th room higher in this game is just photographer. Just photographer. Photographer says, hey, grow to 5 and get to a stone house. It doesn't ask how, just says do it. And that's already a way to score a lot of points. Crate Maker. Yeah, this is a good card. This is a very good card. Maruska is very inset. Now he gets a food and a wood every time he plays a card from his hand the rest of the game, essentially. So he can spam start player and keep me in last and slow me down, and also play out the rest of his hand, which presumably is a thing that he'll want to do. I like the 4 wood here, but I think the clay for building the clay room is quite nice. But I could just go with 4 clay. Like 4 clay is good enough. So if I play the basket maker here, I eat 3. Do I go for the question is, do I go for the stone oven? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is I'm playing basket maker here. And I'm getting either a 2 boar or a 4 food action back. I'm certainly getting one of the 2 back. Start player Swan Lake's a pretty good move here. 2.6 food and a wood. And start player. Pretty good. Pretty good. Barbarossa is going to stable block, though, so that's good. That slows down Maruska. I am happy to see that. I like taking the clay here because it forces first action build next round from Maruska. Crate Maker is too good or just strong? I mean, I don't think I've played it a single time, Blackjack Davy, so it's hard for me to say that a card like this, which has a variable payout, it's difficult for me to say that it's too strong having never played it. Like, there's some effects that I think you can look at and say they're just busted for the state of the game, but I can't, I don't think I can say that about that card in particular. So get plus FR here, and then eat 3 food and an R. Harvest this last grain. Murska gets to build the well. All about Murska, all about that that food on the board life here. Yeah, so if Murska takes the wood action, then he's not building. So either I get a wood action or I get the build room action. I'm quite happy with either. And then I'm looking at a sow bake action next round, or next stage. Probably, most likely it's next round. Barbarossa has to build here, or grow here, so then Keith gets to grab 6 wood, I get to grab 5 wood. Yeah, so bake at the end of this round. Second move. Could be plow. I don't hate Head of the Revolution here. Head of the Revolution for 2 wood. Although then playing Mayor Candidate is awkward because then I have a 16th wood that's very difficult to get rid of. I guess what I could do is build a stable and then just fence 14. It's an option. Night Bazaar giving me the ability to pick up 1 wood. I appreciate with this Mayor Candidate. Definitely appreciate that. So I probably have to decide here what I'm going to do. Because probably this move's supposed to be an occupation, I think. Could be a field, I guess, but I can't really use that field. And I'm definitely sowing this round. I'm not risking a go by. Not with Keith and Barbarossa both looking likely to do a sow bake. Maybe I just sow bake with this move then. Make sure that I get it out. Yeah, I think it's a pretty important move, so I do think it's a pretty important move. I think the thing about Crate Maker is that in draft 9 it's probably extremely good. It's not a card that would be that impressive in a draft 7 deal in a draft 7 or a 10-3 game, right? I think in draft 9 though, you're just your 7th card is worth playing a lot of the times, which is not always the case in other formats, right? And, because I think the big deciding factor is probably what matters the most about how good the card, like how much of a payout you get, is probably how many occupations do you want to play, right? That's probably the biggest deciding factor because if you don't want to play a lot of occupations, then the way that you get a good payout from it is by playing it as like your second oc, and then you have like 4 improvements in play, and then you're capped at like 4 or 5. Then you can only at most get 4 or 5 more, right? But like in this setup where it's your 4th occupation and he's got 3 more miners and 3 more ox in hand, right? That's where you can get the if he is going to empty his hand, he's going to get a really nice payout. What about fencing here? Is fencing here a thing? Looking at this pair of cattle next round, is Barbarossa taking them every time with Reformer? Yeah, he is. So I could maybe just take a vegetable here. Or this would be a time to grab stone if there was any stone on the table, but there isn't. Could play an occupation. Could play an occupation here. I think I just take my 1 vegetable here. It's not great, but I think it's okay. Power of 4.9, but only through 23 plays. Yeah, that's high. Yeah, Maruska denying the stone is a pain. So maybe I was supposed to take Reedstone food because Reedstone food lets me croft for another stone. I mean, I guess I can take Reedstone food anyways. It doesn't have to have happened last round. Yeah, and Barbarossa goes for the two cattle. So I think it looks to me like Maruska's just gonna sow second move if Keith does not do so. So then this round for me is build. What is it? Is it build Reedstone food merit candidate? And then Crofter grabs me a stone. I still have the reed and the stone from timetable, so the Stonehouse extension is only like getting to Stonehouse extension only cost me 5 stone total, which is not that bad. I'm gonna build here. I don't want Maruska sewing. I'm gonna force Maruska's growth here. Helps Barbarossa, but I'm more worried about Maruska than Barbarossa by a pretty significant margin. Surely Keith won't build. You never know, right? You never know. You never know. Yeah, so Reedstone Food Ock here or Ock Plow. I guess Mayor Candidate into Fence is not too bad, but yeah, having to take the Reed to eat with the Basket Maker is sad. I would like to not have to do that. Yeah, Corn Sheaf here seems good. Oh, So Bake's available. Keith making So Bake available to Barbarossa is pretty fantastic. This must be Renault So Bake, right? Or sorry, Renault T. I don't mind getting past T. I would probably play T, given the opportunity. So reed and 3 food to feed 6, harvest the grain, and then get plus FS. No, I'm getting plus FR here, aren't I? Yeah. Even wood maybe, but plus FR I think. Wait, how much stone do I need? I need 6 stone, right? 4 plus 2, so plus FS. So if I do plus FS, then I can take a 2 read action. If I get the read, then I would need a 2 stone action. Let's grab plus FS here. I don't have to use the timetable stone. If I get reedstone food here, I could just, take it. Wow, family growth here from Ruska is really good. Especially because I'm going to stone here. Maruska gets to stone, it's GG. Because with the well, the Swan Lake, all the points from his miners, plus 5 family members. Um, yeah, it'll be GG if he gets the stone, gets to a stone house. Okay. He's played riding plow. So I could 4 wood. I like the idea of renovating. I like the idea of renovating next round. But maybe I'm just supposed to take my 2 read with the first move here. And give myself the option of renovating. Plow is the other thing I'm looking at here. And fence is also an option. Grab the 2 read here. I guess if I plow, then so baked into family growth would have been a line, and then take the 2 read with my last move of the round. But I think if I'm going to play tea, it's after playing cookies, right? I'm not baking again without cookies in play. Or at least hoping not to. I'm gonna hold on to this clay hut extension as long as, or this stonehouse extension as long as I can. So I'm playing an improvement here. So this is cookies over grain bag because there is a chance that I don't take grain again, but there's like no chance that I don't. There's pretty much no chance that I don't bake. Oh, I should give myself another photographer point. Is Keith gonna build last move here? He's got the resources for it. Would have been nice if he could have taken some more wood. I don't want all this wood going to Maruska and Barbarossa. Makes me sad. Nope, he's going to take grain. So he's setting up for a big plow sow here. Or a couple big plow sows. I like the idea of grain bag into grain bag. I can start player grain bag into grain into sow bake into family growth tea. Get the action back into like fence, but that's a pretty tenuous round. Or into occupation. That's a pretty tenuous round. It's doable though. No, two wood does not stay there. And you're forced to balance it out. Checking the compendium. I remember the mostly balancing it thing being a thing. I remember that. Barbarossa's still looking at the compendium. No way. There's no way that's right. Really? No way. What? There's no way that. What? I've never heard that before. That seems like a terrible ruling. That's such a terrible ruling, and there's no reference for it. That's a really terrible ruling. It says as evenly as possible. I mean, 221 is as evenly as possible. That's a really terrible ruling. I wonder where they got that from. There's no reference. Unfortunately, a lot of the rules have some of those have references, but there's no reference on that one. Unofficial Compendium 9.1 changes. Oh, here it is. It's in here. Nothing. Anyways, I should do my move. Probably waiting on me. maruskaK probably sows here, but if he doesn't and I get the sow bake action, I'm quite happy. Yeah, there's nothing on here. I don't like that ruling. There's nothing that indicates that you have to distribute multiples of 3. That's what I don't like about it. Is that there's nothing about the card that says you have to distribute multiples of 3. Yeah, and also solo game's a thing, where in the solo game you only put 2 wood on the 3 wood space at a time. maruskaK, I don't see an issue. It's in the compendium. I'm not arguing it. It wasn't Kimball. And there's nothing in our forums indicating that's the case. So I'm getting 4111, so 7 food. Look at the card itself in the CAC. See if there's a thread on there. Sometimes it's on the CAC, but usually not for the EIK cards. Yeah, no comments. Um, Barbarossa doing nothing to get ready to Reno fence is highly annoying. I wanted him to get ready to Reno fence so that I could safely get fence. But I guess I have to first move fence, which sucks. Really sucks. It means I'm not guaranteed to wheel this plow action. So probably what I have to do, probably what it means I'm doing is I'm last action playing Occupation Head of the Revolution, and then I'm first move fencing 15 big here. Oh, Maruska just played Rule Breaker. Brutal. Brutal for me. Yeah, I would have liked to have been able to play Head of the Revolution there. Would have been quite a good move. I guess it's possible I wheel plow and field, but it's a pretty big risk to take given Cloister Dweller, right? Because if I just fence 15 big, then I get a point out of Cloister Dweller for that column, which I would not otherwise get. Maruska and Keith plow. Well, Maruska plow sows. Keith with riding plow, yeah, you're right. Keith will riding plow. Yeah, so I guess Barbaros is just going to take this stuff to Reno in the last round, but like Maruska and Keith are both renovating, so I don't really. I'm a bit confused about what happened here. Seems like Barbarossa maybe could have done something, but I'll grab the 2 sheep here. Since I do need a bit more food, grab the 3 sheep with my last move. It would have been really nice to play Head of the Revolution, but yeah. And then I take plus F wood here, and I skip out on 1 round of basket making. Yeah. Plus F wood feed 9. Yeah, well, Maruska's gonna plow sow, of course. Maruska's obviously gonna plow sow. The question is Keith gonna plow? And you're totally right about riding plow. I had forgotten about it. So I want to wheel a pair of boar or a pair of cattle. Both would be great. Both would be great. Wow, Barbarossa plowed. That is unexpected. There was never a world where fence post driver gives me the fence action. Not when both occupations got blocked in 13. Not when Maruska blocked the other occupation space. I don't think that was on the table anymore. I'm gonna take the boar because I think there's a world where the cattle wheel. And maruskaK, the cattle are a much better, or the boar are a much better move for maruskaK. The world where the cattle wheel is Barbarossa doesn't need 8 food, and Keith has no ability to hold any other animals, so. It was probably a very good, I could have fenced first move instead of doing the fields, or instead of doing start player. It was probably a quite sharp fence move by maruskaK. Yeah. He did it after I took grain. But yeah, maruskaK's had a nice game. Obviously, Rule Breaker is incredible. This is like a 5-point Rule Breaker. So, tough to beat that. His botanist was tough for my Stonehouse extension. His botanist made life really hard on my Stonehouse extension. And family growth in 12 was good for him as well. Plavso would have been good as well, but family growth even better, I think, with Rule Breaker and with Crate Maker. And Crate Maker is incredible. Yeah. So what did he get the Rule Break? What did he get out of the Rule Breaker pile? Was that his Rule Breaker was I took Cloister Dweller over Rule Breaker, I think. So a 4th pick Rule Breaker is not supposed to happen. 6 wood, 6 food. So Barbarossa wanted to play Sickle and ends the game with 7 wood unplayed. Solid Charcoal Burner, but the stuff comes a bit later. Yeah, I mean, the ability to, but like, you being in control of when it comes out makes a big difference, right? Makes a really big difference. Like, the ability to take, like, Writing Desk with it and play 2 occupations at once, like, that's good. Last move, 3 grain. I have enough food right now, so grain I think is my only point move left. I guess vegetable is worth a point. Yeah, I eat a grain and then I get food read and eat the read. Eat grain, food read. Hmm. Why is the green field marked? Did he do something to it? Don't think so. I get plus FR and then 6 food. GR. Feed 10. Read. Read. So my final score plus 14. So, I mean, I'm going to hit 50, but maruska's mid-50s minimum, right? Yeah, I'm 52. I'm sure maruska's 54 minimum. Because he breeds a point and then is plus 6. Plus 4-point rule breaker seems too low. Oh no, because he kept the vegetable. So we tied. Wow. Wow. Um, yeah, Barbarossa just giving up on fencing was kind of odd. Because if Barbarossa doesn't just give up on fencing, then he gets to Reno fence, right? Presuming, and like it forces Maruska to first action Reno. Did he say 33? Yeah, take a look at that draft. Oh, did that not go through? Um, Considering first pick Crofter, my yacht could have also got 6/6 food. Yep, but it provided a very different constraint, right? The ability, the fact that I couldn't spam occupations in the first two stages, or particularly in particular, I couldn't play 2 oxen in round 1 or stage 1. That constrains my draft quite a bit. Um, Funny game. I had to do a couple weird moves, like first action clay oven round 5, which I think was correct. First action sow in 4, which I'm not as sure about that one. Not as sure about that one. Take a quick look at the draft here. Three, 7, 0, 4, 5, 9. Yeah, the ability to take any resource is nice. So yeah, best card here is Botanist. I'm sure the stats are going to put it above Crofter. I just was not excited to first pick a Botanist here. It's mostly what it comes down to. Then I take Small Scale Farmer. Small Scale Professional, power 5.6. All right. All right, so I'm likely undervaluing that card. I am likely undervaluing that card. Yeah, I mean it seems really good. It does seem really good. Like the ability to get 2 vegetables in round 4 is really good, or maybe not round 4, round I have to read the text. I don't remember if you can get it in round 4, if you have to wait till round 5. Yeah, maruskaK getting a 4th pick rule breaker was pretty gross. Yeah, ahead of the revolution here. Was this right? Was this Stonehouse extension here right? Might have been. Getting both breeding pairs, getting all 3 animal types after fencing in not fencing until 14. That was really important for my game. Powers are pretty wonky since the sample size is so low. I think small scale professional is busted. Yeah, you're right that it probably 5.6 is not accurate, but probably what's happening is that the card is better than people think it is, and then people are not drafting it highly, and because they're not drafting it highly, it's getting to people that it should not get to, aka people with field doctor, people with any 2-room house, anything like this plus any reason to stay on two house is so good. You don't think that's true? It was second highest. It was second highest ADP, but it's still below. It's still above 3. Its ADP is above 3. So I mean, a 5.6. Let's say this power is actually like 4.8, 4.7, or let's say it's 4.5. Let's say it's a full power point lower. A 4.5 power card should not be going 3.3, right? So I think it's probably just getting third picked a lot of the time. And this is power 3 on average, right? So I mean, it's getting third picked. It's getting to like power 3. It's getting to someone who first picked field doctor or any good 2-house card. Power on cards like that are pretty meaningless just because of what they can do. Like I do think it's a big ceiling card, right? I did talk about that. This is a huge ceiling card because it's like acquirer, right? It gives you access to goods at a time when you're not supposed to be able to get them, and then we balance cards around when you can normally get them, and then because it breaks that, it can break those other cards. Oh, just because the number of plays are so low. Sure. Yeah, I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea what the number of plays are. I assume a reasonable number of drafts have included it, but if that's not the case, you're right. Then the powers are very, very unsure. Anyways, guys, it's going to be all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. We'll be back tomorrow. Start streaming in the afternoon. Do at least 2 games tomorrow. Probably 3 if the games go at a reasonable pace and I get them pretty quick. It's going to be my goal. Hello, in Exito 11. Yeah, I'm done for today though, and we'll see you tomorrow.